For 137 years he's been a ghost, a name whispered in nightmares. Jack the Ripper, history's most infamous serial killer, murdered 5 women, taunted police with bloody letters, and vanished. But now, hidden in the ink of those very letters and a stained Victorian shawl, scientists claim they've found him. Not through rumors, not through guesswork, through DNA. This isn't another theory. This is forensic evidence trapped in time for over a century. Evidence that could finally answer the question, who was Jack the Ripper? The answer will shock you. Imagine London, 1888. The cobblestone streets of Whitechapel reek of poverty and despair. Gas lamps cast flickering shadows on walls plastered with posters warning of a predator. 5 women, Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly, are butchered in a frenzy of violence, their bodies mutilated with surgical precision. The killer vanishes like smoke, leaving behind a trail of gore, terror, and a nickname scrawled in taunting letters: Jack the Ripper. Theories explode like gunpowder. Is he a deranged doctor? A mad aristocrat? A foreign anarchist? The police are paralyzed. The public is hysterical. And the letters, over 200 of them, flood Scotland Yard, each claiming to be from the Ripper himself. Most are hoaxes, but a few chill the blood. "Dear boss," one begins, gloating about slicing ears and mailing kidneys. The handwriting drips with menace. The signature, a red-inked smirk, Jack the Ripper. For decades, suspects pile up like corpses. Montague John Druitt, a barrister who drowned himself after the killings. Aaron Kosminski, a Polish immigrant shackled to an asylum. Even royalty falls under suspicion. Could Prince Albert Victor, the Queen's grandson, have prowled Whitechapel in an opium-fueled rage? Conspiracy theorists whisper of Freemason cover-ups, while authors spin tales of American serial killer H.H. Holmes crossing the Atlantic to terrorize London. But evidence? It crumbles like old bones. Then, in 2014, a bombshell. A decaying silk shawl, allegedly found near Catherine Eddowes' corpse, resurfaces. Its stains, blood and semen, hold a secret. Forensic biologist Dr. Jari Luhelainen extracts DNA, linking it to Eddowes and a man, Aaron Kosminski, the same Polish barber detectives once called a strong suspect. Skeptics erupt. Contamination. No chain of custody. The shawl's story feels too convenient. Until 2023, when a new forensic weapon enters the fray: touch DNA. In 2023, a long-lost relative of Kosminski steps forward. She donates her DNA. Scientists compare it to the shawl's male genetic profile. The result? 100% match to Kosminski's lineage. Spearheading the investigation was Russell Edwards, an author and researcher obsessed with unmasking the Ripper. For years, Edwards chased the shawl's shadowy history, collaborating with geneticists and genealogists to pry secrets from its fibers. But how? Kosminski, a paranoid schizophrenic institutionalized in 1891, was deemed too weak and docile to be the Ripper. Yet police files reveal chilling details. He harbored a pathological hatred of women. He lived steps from the murders. Officers tailed him, convinced he'd strike again. When he was locked away, the killings stopped. The Openshaw letter, one of the Ripper's most sinister notes, gets a modern autopsy. Touch DNA lifted from its stamp and folds matches Kosminski's genealogy. Even the taunting "Dear Boss" letter, long dismissed as a hoax, bears traces of his family line. The man who signed himself Jack the Ripper didn't just brag. He left his genetic signature. Critics still howl. The shawl could have been contaminated, the letters forged, but science fires back. The DNA survived 130 years because it was sealed in dried glue and fabric, untouched by modern hands. It's a case closed. After a century of red herrings and rabbit holes, the evidence points to Aaron Kosminski, a mentally ill immigrant abandoned by history who became the face of evil. But why did police protect his identity? Files suggest fear of riots, or worse, a royal scandal. Kosminski's brother worked for the Queen's tailor. Expose Aaron and you risk exposing the crown. Jack the Ripper isn't a ghost. He's a 23-year-old barber staring back from a grainy police sketch. A man who walked among the poor, hated his own hunger and turned rage into ritual. The DNA doesn't lie. The letters don't either. The Ripper's name was Aaron Kosminski, and the truth was buried in a shawl.